Welcome to Discover English Academy video. My name is Yelda, and today I want to teach you some points about IELTS speaking part. In the previous lesson, we learned about the first part of the speaking part of the IELTS, and today we're just going to learn something about task 2, the second part of the speaking, okay, in IELTS exam. In task 2, you need to give a short talk about a specific topic. So they just give you a card with a specific topic on it, like general topic. And so you don't need any specific knowledge about that topic. You have to use your personal experience to talk about it. And so you have to talk for 1 or 2 minutes. And it's not really difficult, but some people think that's the most difficult part of the IELTS speaking because it's not a dialogue, right? So you have to speak for 1 or 2 minutes without any help from the examiner, or examiner doesn't ask you any questions to help you, okay? So you have to talk for 1 and 2 minutes. So it can be even difficult for native speakers to talk for 2 minutes without, any stop or just any conversation with someone. Okay, so you have to just be very prepared for this part of the IELTS speaking part. And so I'm going to explain how it works. In general, you have 3 minutes for this part. Okay, so the examiner give you a card, and there is a topic on it, a general topic with some detailed question. And so you have 1 minute to think about the topic, and you can write down some notes. I think it's very, very helpful if you write down notes, because some people might think, okay, so I can just remember everything. I have everything in my brain, but don't really trust your brain at that time. Just memorizing it, because sometimes you might forget, and so you have to stop and you lose your mark. The best thing is just write down some notes, and instead of writing sentences, it's better to use some keywords. Okay, and then you will, whenever you want to talk, so you will remember what you wanted to say. And after thinking and writing down your notes, so you have to just speak for 1 to 2 minutes, okay, without any stop. And so here, you will see an example of the topic. Describe a game or sport you enjoy playing. This is the main topic, okay? This is the most important thing that you have to talk about. And as I said, so you must just talk about, you can talk about your personal experience. That's the point of this question. But probably you don't have any personal experience about the topic, so you can just make up something, okay? So you don't need to just tell the truth, okay? So if you don't remember anything about your personal experience, you can just make up a story and just talk about it. And so you will see some bullet points here, like what kind of sport it is, who you play it with, and where you play it, and explain why you enjoy playing it. These bullet points, so you have to, you should answer to these questions, but these are they're just points that help you to describe and talk about the topic, okay? And some people think, so you have to just talk about all the bullet points here, but no, these bullet points they are here to help you, okay? Help you to just realize what you have to say, okay? So if you see in the card, so they tell you, you should talk about, not must talk about all the bullet points. But here, the topic is the most important part. You have to focus on it. You have to just talk about some of these bullet points or something else, right? Just something that is related to the topic and is your personal experience. Now here, I have to mention about some important tips whenever you're doing your IELTS speaking test. So you should just keep that in your mind. You don't have to talk about every bullet point, as I said before, right? So you have a general topic that is very important and you must talk about it. You don't have to go off topic, okay? But the bullet points, they are there to help you to just, add information to just like what you're saying to your short talk, okay? So you have to just like talk about the main topic, of course, right? So the topic that you have at the top, but the bullet points, you can choose some. If you can talk about all of them, that's great, just do so. But if you just, for example, don't remember something about any points, or maybe you're not comfortable talking about it, you can just talk about something else, but that should be related to the main topic, of course, okay? And the other thing that is very important is your preparation before the test. So as you know, practice makes perfect, of course, right? So you have to just practice a lot before you go for the test. So what you can do, so you can just like have the questions, so you can just like find out what kind of questions they might ask you, right? So some topic cards, and then try to just like go over them and just try to speak. You can record yourself, right? And but just keep that in your mind, because there are lots of topics and you don't know which one they're going to give you, okay? You don't need to memorize the answers, because I can tell what point is it sounds unnatural, okay? So whenever just like the examiner just listen to you, say, okay, so you memorize it. And if they feel that, okay, so they can just give you 0 for that band, okay? So be careful, don't memorize the answers. They have this authority. They're allowed to give you 0 if they feel that you memorize the answer, okay? And the other thing is focus on fluency and pronunciation. Accent is not really important because everybody has an accent, right? American, they have their own accents. Canadian, they have their own accents. Even city to other cities, so they have different accents, okay? So don't worry about your accent, but you must practice to have a very good pronunciation, okay? And work on your fluency as much as you can, okay? So what you can do, as I said, so you can just like time yourself, right? So say, for example, I have to talk about this topic for 2 minutes, and you just like put the timer for yourself and then record yourself for 1 to 2 minutes, okay, and just like speak. And after that, you can check your fluency and pronunciation. If there's something wrong with that, try to fix it and improve it, okay? And grammar, of course, grammar is very important in this part of the IELTS, in any parts, of course, grammar is very important. And the grammar that you need to be ready for that in this part is past tense, of course, right? So for most parts, so you need past tense because you're talking about past experience, kind of, right? So you need to know about past tense. So prepare for simple past tense, past progressive, most of, just like even more than the other tenses, okay? And use this 1 minute wisely, because you have, whenever they give you the card, so you have 1 minute, as I said, in this 1 minute, so you have to just like read the card, read the topic, all the bullet points, and try to talk about it. Think about it, write down notes, and talk about it. So notes, they're really good, as I said, so I really recommend that you do it, but because you don't have lots of time to write down long sentences and complete sentences, just use keywords, okay? And just like, it helps you to remember so what you wanted to say, okay? And the other point, as I said before, you must use your, actually not must, you have to use personal experience, okay? So that's what they wanted you to do, but sometimes you don't have this experience, right? So about the question, probably you don't remember anything, or you don't have any experience about the specific topic. So as I said before, you can't just make up a story or lie, right? So it doesn't matter, it's just an IELTS test, okay? So you need your mark, the best mark, so just do it. The other points that you need to pay attention to is mistakes are okay, okay? So whenever you make mistakes, just don't panic. Whenever you just like get stressed out and you panic, so it affects your ideas, your pronunciation, your vocabulary, and it's just like actually it leads you to make more mistakes. So everybody can make mistakes. Even the students who get 8 or even 9, they make just like some small mistakes. So whenever you do so whenever you realize that you make mistakes, just like forget about it, because there is nothing you can do right? So there is no, in that point, so there is nothing that you can do about it. Just like let it go and just like continue, okay? Forget about your mistake. Because if you do so, you might just, it can affect your mark as well, okay? Because it affects everything whenever you're stressed out. So you just like lose the track of actually just like what you were saying, okay? And so you have to just like keep that in your mind. So you have to speak loudly, okay? Not just like shy people. So just like very quietly, or not very fast, not very slow. So with the correct pace actually, yeah? And speak loudly. And the other one, so it's really wrong that you focus on just one point, right? Because you have a main topic, of course you must talk about it. You have some bullet points, you have to talk about them as well. So as I said, so you don't need to talk about all the bullet points, but so you have to just talk about most of them, right? So don't focus on just one point and then so you lose your time and speaking just about one thing, okay? And the other thing, use more complex vocabulary, okay? Don't use boring vocabulary like good or bad. Yeah, my experience was very good. Okay, so it's not a very good answer. You have to just expand your ideas whenever you're talking about something. So you can just like, you must have introduction. So for example, I want to talk about, I'd like to talk about, so what I'm going to talk about, and then, so you have to just like start what you wanted to say. That's the introduction to what you're saying. And after that, you have to use the bullet point as the body of your actual speaking. It's like essay writing, okay? But just like you just say. And after that, so you need conclusion, okay? So you have to expand your ideas and never just give short answers because you don't get your actually mark for that part. And for doing so, the best way is just using transition. So that would be great if you do so. Like first of all, secondly, thirdly, then finally. So it's perfect if you can do so. Yeah, so just like try to practice to use transition whenever you're talking about your ideas and your personal experience. I hope this lesson was useful for you. If you want to learn more, you can join our IELTS classes in Discover English Academy. And if you want to just watch the other videos, so you can subscribe to YouTube channel, Discover English YouTube channel. And so you can just like watch the other videos that we uploaded there. And so you can just be notified whenever we upload a new video. Thank you and see you in the next lesson with Speaking Task 3. Bye.